everybody, what's going on? Sarah Hall, the Wealthy Optimist here. Thank you for tuning into my channel. Today I thought I would do a little kind of positive video. I have today I'm feeling really great, and I wanted to kind of talk about habits and daily habits, especially when we're not allowed to leave our houses more than once a day, and how you can continue to have a positive mindset and feel really good about yourself even when it's a depressing and confusing and uncertain time. So dealing with this coronavirus pandemic has been, really upsetting for a whole lot of people, and I just want to talk about some of the practical ways that we can keep a positive mindset and kind of shake off the bad feelings and move forwards with a positive mindset and positive life, because I'm all about the positivity. I'm gonna get a red mark here because I just banged my head on the studio light. So I'm pretty sure as I'm filming this, that is gonna get like redder and redder. I'm pretty sure I hit it hard enough to have a bruise. As if I need any more injuries because my back is still injured. But anyways, so what I noticed is over the past month, I was finding myself being really stressed out, kind of emotionally exhausted. I would go through phases where I felt great and everything was fine, and then I would go through these big, long periods of just kind of feeling overwhelmed and emotionally just drained and stressed, and I felt like I was in a cycle where I was complaining quite a bit to my friends or to my family, and that still happens sometimes because we're human and we're only human, but there's nothing that we can control in this life except our own thoughts and our own actions. You literally cannot control anything else in life except yourself. So we cannot control the outcome of what's going to happen with the coronavirus. We can't control if we're going to lose our jobs or if we're going to lose our houses, or if people are going to die that we love. We cannot control this, and worrying about it and stressing about it and allowing ourselves to live in that state of anxiety and stress and depression is not helpful, and all it does is make it worse. So the only thing that we can control is ourselves and our mindset. So what I think about is, when I find myself getting overwhelmed and anxious, I stop myself and I think, what am I in control of right now? I'm in control of my breath, so I can take a deep breath, and on my exhale, I can say I'm just releasing this energy back into the universe, or whatever your belief is, if you're lifting it up to God to deal with or handing it off, you can just relieve that for a second by taking some deep breath work. Another thing is I will stop and see what that track is that my mind is on, where it's headed. Am I obsessively thinking about what's going to happen next? Am I obsessively checking the news? Am I, constantly scrolling through feeds and seeing one bad thing after the other? Have I taken a break from the news today? Have I taken a break from social media? Have I tried to consciously talk about positive things instead of only sharing the negative things? And this is something we really need to check in with ourselves at during this time, because we, as a human species, tend to share things that are negative before we share things that are positive. So I was listening to a podcast of Jay Shetty's podcast a couple days ago, and he was saying that, I can't remember the name of the author that wrote it, Ray something, I don't know, I'll find it and I'll put it in the description, but he was doing this research on what people think the world is, what state the world is in right now. And so he was asking people questions, and one of the questions that resonated with me was, do you think that the poverty situation in the world has doubled in size, so double the amount of people are impoverished? B, you think it's remained the same? Or C, you think it's halved? So take a second and think about that. What do you think the answer is? Do you think the answer is A, that the poverty in the world has doubled over the last several years? Do you think it has remained the same? Or do you think it has halved? I want you to actually answer it. Okay, maybe put it in the comments before I tell you what the answer is. The answer is that it's halved. There are half the amount of impoverished and poor people living in poor conditions than there were several years ago. Halved. That's actually fantastic news. But the way that the media portrays it, I bet the majority of you guys did not answer that. I actually answered that because I figured it must be that. You know, I was being sneaky thinking, well, it's got to be the answer that people would least expect. But most people actually honestly thought that the population of impoverished people was double the amount than it was a few years ago. Not even that it had stayed the same, but that's strictly because of the way that the media portrays everything to us, so that we think things are getting worse. We're not highlighting the things that are getting better. So we have to check in on that for ourselves. And we have to be able to be the light in a dark world. We have to be able to share positive things more often than we're sharing negative things. You know, how often do we celebrate our wins? You know, instead of in comparison to how often we, you know, berate ourselves for our failures. It's devastating to think about, but we really are our harshest critics, and we don't focus enough on our wins. And maybe we celebrate our wins for a little bit, maybe an hour or a day, but the very next day you're right back at it, you know, thinking, oh, I should have reached this goal, oh, I should have done that, oh, why am I not here yet, you know, and always, it's just never enough. You know, when is it going to be enough? When can we just stop and slow down and appreciate where we are right now in this moment? You know, with all this shitstorm of stuff going on in the world right now, and it's horrific, and it's going to go down in the history books as one of the worst pandemics of all time. Are we going to be able to get through it? Yes, the majority of us are going to survive it. Are we going to come out of it with more mental health issues because of how much we let it destroy our psyches? Quite possibly, yes, if we don't get a handle on it now. So my positive tips for you are to take some time, check in with yourself, you know, turn off the media for a little while. I actually realized that in January, my news consumption went up massively. I haven't had cable, like I have a TV obviously behind me, but I watch like Netflix, or I stream things on my laptop, or I watch Amazon Prime or documentaries or stuff like that. I haven't actually had television cable for, I don't know, since I was 19. I don't like it because I don't like watching the news, because the news makes me sad. But I do also keep up with world events, obviously. I keep up with things that are important to me. And I think it was Simon Sinek or something who said that you can have chosen ignorance. So, and I'm not saying it right, but basically the idea is that you decide which news you want to follow and which news that isn't relevant to you. You know, so say if you're a stock market trader, you're going to follow the stock markets and economics, you know, but you might not necessarily care about all the murders that happened in the last 2 weeks or something like that, you know. So it's called selective ignorance. And so I love that concept, and I subscribe to that concept. But in January, when all this stuff started happening with the coronavirus, let me tell you, I was on the computer getting BBC updates to my phone, getting CBC updates from Canada, getting American updates, CNN updates from America, like keeping on track with everything that was going on in the world, because I was so concerned about what was happening, and I was really so worried and stressed out and enveloped in it, because I wanted to make sure that I was on top of it so that I can protect myself and I can protect my family. And I realized that it was starting to take a huge emotional toll on myself. So now what I've done is I've toned it way down. I check in on myself. I turn my phone off. I only check the news like a couple of times a day, you know, maybe closer to like the end or the middle of the day, when I know there's going to be the updates on how many deaths there are, or different events that have happened, instead of waking up first thing in the morning and just checking constantly all day. I was literally doing that. I was that person. And it was starting to really affect me. And mental health is really important. So what I've been doing now that I've been staying at home, and this is going into the second week of staying at home, I've been setting up a routine, which is really, really helpful for myself. And I hope that a lot of people that are watching my channel do this type of thing, or really consider doing something like this for yourself, for your own mental health as well. Because it's not just a matter of turning off the news, it's also a matter of controlling your own mind and ensuring that we are feeding it with positive things and that we are stopping that kind of train wreck of negative thoughts. So what I do, my daily morning routine looks something like this. I wake up at 6 a.m., okay? I brush my teeth, have a shower, get ready, and depending on how many, because I'm working from home full time, depending on how many actual meetings I have that are virtual meetings, that are not including just my team, because with just my team can I don't mind not wearing makeup and stuff. But when I have like actual outside meetings with people outside of my team, if that makes sense, not like physically outside, but like outside of my team, then I'll actually, do my makeup or do my hair, so that I feel like I'm going to work, you know what I mean? And for me, that's something I love doing. Maybe you don't do that, doesn't really matter. This is just my kind of what makes me feel like a normal human during this time of so much uncertainty. And I'll put on a nice shirt and, kind of get dressed like I'm going to work. And then I will have a big glass of water. I'll make my coffee. I love me some coffee. I have an espresso machine, so I make my espresso. And then what I do is I sit down and I do a 10-minute yoga stretch. And maybe 10 minutes of yoga doesn't sound like a lot to you. For me, that is life-changing, okay? I don't even really ever practice yoga, but like over the last year or two, I've been slowly incorporating it more. But being stuck at my house and with this like back injury that's going on, being able to do those stretches and do that 10 minutes of yoga is just bringing me so much peace and clarity. And it's just 10 minutes of just time for myself, basically, and doing it first thing in the morning. It wakes your whole body up. You're basically setting your intention for the day, and it feels really, really good. So highly recommend it. And you can do all this without even leaving your house. And then right after the yoga, I use an app called Calm. And I've been using this app for several years now. I absolutely love this app, huge advocate for it. I wish they were sponsoring this video, but they're not. And it costs $59 for the year. They have a daily 10-minute meditation that you can do where somebody guides you through the meditation, and then at the end of it, they talk about a specific like mental health issue or a specific wellness issue or some kind of motivational thing, some kind of self-help thing, and it's different every single day of the year. It's amazing, honestly. If you haven't ever tried it, go try it. I think they let you do a free trial for a week, totally worth it. And I do that every single day. And that's 20 minutes. So 10 minutes of yoga, 10 minutes of meditation. The meditation clears my mind of negativity and it lets me just be. And it's just stillness. And it's just me being with myself for just a short period of time before the craziness of the day comes in, and before the phone calls from other people come in, or before I start phone calling other people, or before everybody else's problems and my problems start just like overwhelming my brain and my thoughts. And that, my friends, that is self-care. That is giving yourself time for you. So I really recommend trying to do some of these things. I also have a gratitude journal. I've talked about this on my channel before. I love this. It's the 5-minute journal. I fill this out every morning too. This is my second one. So what it is dun, 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 it does like 3 things that you are grateful for, 3 things that would make the day great. So it's like setting your intention, and then daily affirmations. When I'm filling this out, you guys, I don't even put 3. I put like 10. I like cram them in there. And then at the end of the day, it has some reflection. So like, what happened that was amazing today? How could I make the day better? And it's literally simple, and it has a quote at the top. Like this one says, "To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people just exist." And it has something beautiful. That's by Oscar Wilde. And it has something beautiful. And I think that that's a great way to start my day. And I love starting my day with something like that. So I do that every day as well too. Lately, I'm also reading 356 Days of Stoicism. The Daily Stoic. 366 days of meditations. This is great. This has been so good. So each one is like a different day, and it's got a quote like from the meditation journals of different philosophers, and then it's got a modern take on how you can apply that into your life. And I do that, I do my journal, I do my yoga, and I do my meditation and enjoy my coffee. And that takes me probably about, 45 minutes or an hour that I spend on myself every single morning. And it really, really sets me up for a good day. And I actually get up earlier than I need to, just so I can do all this stuff for myself. Because a lot of people, what they do is they get up at like, half an hour before they have to leave to get on the train to go to work or something like that. I would rather make myself get up earlier to give myself the best start possible to my day than to get up like with just enough time to like get ready, get out the door, rush, and just feel like it just sets the day off for the totally wrong energy. You don't want that kind of energy. And if that's something that you're doing because you value your sleep and you're like, oh, but I really like sleeping in and eventually, trust me, you're gonna get used to it. You're gonna 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like Mel Robbins, you're gonna get up out of bed and you're just gonna get used to it. You're gonna get used to getting up earlier. You're gonna actually end up going to bed earlier. You're gonna feel better. You're gonna feel more energetic. You're gonna start your day off right. It's gonna bring you so much positivity. I promise. Set up a morning ritual and it's gonna feel really, really good. So that's my positive vibes, positive tips for the day. During this kind of lockdown, we're allowed out of our house once a day. I'm just gonna put this out there. At the present time when I'm filming this, the government has not specified how long you're allowed out of your house. So, take advantage of it. If you're going out alone, go for like a 2-hour walk, go for a 2-hour run, go for a 2-hour bike ride. You know what I mean? Get some real exercise in. Don't just go for like a 10-minute walk if that's the only time you're allowed outside. Take advantage of it. Get some really good fresh air. Go somewhere that you don't normally go. Get to know your neighborhood. Get to know outside of your neighborhood. Really explore and get out there and get some fresh air and listen to podcasts when you're walking and listen to positive, uplifting music and uplifting people. I love listening to podcasts when I'm walking. It gets me excited. It gets me fired up. It gets me thinking. I love listening to things about emotional intelligence and relationships. And, I love listening to motivational mindset stuff because they help you grow, and, different things about sales and different things about, how to build your, social media empire and just learning from experts. There's so much that you can listen to. And when I used to live in Vancouver, I would do that while I was driving because I used to be an insurance agent, and I would have to drive for 6 hours a day. And I would listen to so many audiobooks and so many podcasts. And now that I live in London, I do that walking, and when I was in Vancouver, I also used to be an actor and stunt performer. And so I would listen to podcasts during my downtime or work on my personal growth stuff in my downtime, because there's a lot of downtime during that. You could be sitting around by yourself for 12 hours, no joke, and actually working for 4 hours. Yeah. And I miss it. I do. It's fun times. Lots of love to all of my BC film family back in Canada, Vancouver, who I feel for you right now because you've all lost your jobs. This coronavirus has been crazy, but I'm so thankful for the Canadian government stepping in and making huge emergency funding available for everybody's jobs and huge emergency funding available for rent. Canada has stepped up to the plate. Freaking love being a Canadian. Love it. They're amazing. Good job, Trudeau. I voted for him twice. But anyways, yeah, I'm probably gonna get some slack for that because I don't normally share my political views. Or do I? I don't know. I've probably mentioned that I like Trudeau before because it's Trudeau. Yeah, you're welcome for that. Anyways, I'm gonna leave it there now because I don't know, I'm just rambling now, but please try to be a light. Also, another thing I noticed when I'm out for my walks by myself, there's so many people, I don't run into very many people, but there's a lot of people that are really sad. And smile at them, say hi to them. You know, they're walking there by themselves. You don't need to go anywhere near them. You stay 2 meters or 6 meters apart, but like I say hi and I wave to people, good morning. And they look at me, oh, this woman's saying hi, hi. You know, and it makes people happy. And especially during a time like this, normally when I do stuff like that in London, people look at me like I'm some crazy lunatic. Now though, people are saying hi back. Because people are in the same boat as you. They are sad, they are lonely, they're stressed. They need somebody to smile at them. They need somebody to be their light in their day. I'm getting emotional now. People need happiness and kindness right now. So just please be that light for somebody else, all right? I love you. I'm gonna let you guys go because I'm about to start crying. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, please subscribe. Please like the video, comment below, let me know where you're from, let me know your favorite morning habits, what positive tips you have to share. Some of your favorite podcasts would be great. And yeah, I love you guys. You're beautiful, amazing souls, and thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye.